This is a story about a little boy and his father. There once was a father who had a 4-year-old son. The father told his son to never go or to cross the road. The son would play in the backyard and understood that the father meant what the father meant, so he didn't go near the road. But one day the son was playing in the backyard with a soccer ball, and he kicked the soccer ball and it rolled across the road. The boy began to go after the ball. He thought for a second about what his father had said, but he thought to himself, I just want to go get my ball. One time can't hurt, right? Little did he know that a car was heading right his way. The father, seeing what happened, rushed out and grabbed his son just in time, right before he was about to go into the road. Not a moment later, the car drove by. Had the boy kept going on into the road, he would likely have been killed. The son, who usually listened to his father's instruction, was enticed by the desire to receive his soccer ball, and he disobeyed. He couldn't comprehend the danger that disobeying his father could put him in, and it wasn't explained to him. The father, though he did well in instructing the son to stay out of the road, did not explain or warn of the consequence of his disobedience, the imminent danger, or give a consequence of his own if the son disobeyed. Should the son receive a spanking or some other form of punishment for his disobedience? What would have happened if the father, watching what was happening, did not run out and save his son? Because what if he had used the justification, well, I told him not to? Obviously, that would be cruel and wrong. But many of us can relate to this story in both the father and the son's role. We all have a heavenly Father. His name's God the Almighty. He loves us and watches out for us. And he warns us of the dangers of things, namely sin. Many of us are like the child who have had to learn, or are still learning at one point, what sin is and why it is harmful. In simple terms, sin is disobeying the Father. But thankfully, our Father is a much better Father than the one in this story. Our Father in heaven does warn us of danger and has given us rules to follow, such as the 10 Commandments to keep us safe. But he doesn't stop there. The Bible is filled with warnings about sin and what it leads to. It even says in James 1:14, but each one is tempted when he is drawn away by his own desires and enticed. Then, when desire has conceived, it gives birth to sin. And sin, when it is full grown, brings forth death. Not only does our Heavenly Father tell us what not to do, but he gives us consequences of what will happen when we disobey, so that we don't have to be oblivious like that little boy. When I think about this scenario in the story and other scenarios that I've seen and experienced in my own life, I think of the phrase, be proactive, not reactive. Our Heavenly Father follows this principle. He's the one who invented it. He tells us what we should and should not do, and gives us the consequences of what will happen if we do not obey. The father in our story told his son what to do, but failed to explain the consequences. So in turn, the father had to be reactive and run out to save his son. If the father would have explained the danger of the possibility that a car could run over the son probably would have listened better. He could have also given and explained his own consequence if the son chose to disobey. And doing this ahead of time would reinforce the rule that he gave for the son not to run out into the road. If the son was too young to understand these things, then simply telling the son that he shouldn't do something probably wouldn't be enough. There would probably need to be some other things involved, maybe a fence built between the yard and the road. Or maybe the child shouldn't be left to play by himself outside. If the father chooses to punish the son for what he did, and the boy still does not understand what is happening, or was never explained the consequence, it will likely do more harm than good. Because when the boy doesn't understand, he won't expect the punishment to happen, and it will cause him to fear his father in a negative way, because he will learn that his father could punish him at any time for any reason, because the boy does not understand what is happening. Had the father been proactive in explaining the punishment and not reactive by doing the punishment afterward without explaining it, he would be able to nurture a healthy fear and a respect in his son for himself by making sure that he understood the consequences for his actions. I hope you can get something from this. God bless you.